Well, now I get to make a very exciting announcement to the church. I think you're going to be thrilled. In fact, I know you're going to be thrilled by this announcement. This is driven mostly by our desire to fulfill our mission as a church, to make disciples who delight in and display and declare the glorious gospel of Jesus Christ. It's driven by our desire for ministry excellence. It's driven by our strong desire to serve you as effectively as we can. And because of those desires, I get to announce to you that we have another elder candidate. So we have Sean Powers, who's going to be up here to preach in just a moment, who, once he's finished with the Sovereign Grace ordination process and is, Lord willing, affirmed by the congregation, will be our full-time pastor for youth, singles, and outreach and evangelism. And now, Jon Bloom has entered the same process in order to be a bivocational pastor for worship. Go ahead. Bivocational means that John's going to keep his job as president of Desiring God, but he will also work for and be compensated by Sovereign Grace Church for about 30 hours per month. Now, those of you who've been around for a while know John well. John has been here just weeks shy of how long I've been here, which is over 14 years now. And John has already been a bivocational elder in this church. He served that role from the fall of 2000 until the spring of 2004, right when Pam found out that she was pregnant with twins and life was going to change dramatically. But in those 10 years since, he has continued to be a faithful servant in this church. He's been a small group leader. He's been a deacon serving the worship team. He's been a worship leader. At times, he's been all those things at once. He is one of the hardest working men I know. He is willing to make sacrifices to see the gospel advance. He's also in the categories of being one of the most humble and one of the most wise men I know. He is a dear, dear friend to me. And he's a confidant and a counselor to me and to John Hansel, and he will be to Sean. John and I have been in ministry together now for 18 years. And we've been talking and dreaming and planning about a time when John could get back on the elder team, and God is saying, now is that time. And John is a great worship leader. And he is a great equipper of lead worshipers. If you're blessed by the worship and song that we experience at Sovereign Grace, a lot of it is due to God working through Jon Bloom. So for him to come back on the elder team, specifically to equip and coach the worship team and to lead us in worship on occasion, is such a gift to us. Now, John's role is very specific. It's worship. I mean, it has to be, given the fact that he's accepting what I consider to be a very high, a very holy, and a very hard call to be a bivocational pastor. But he will be installed as a pastor here. And there are no second-tier pastors. The Bible knows nothing of that. So John has to go through the same ordination process that Sean is going through. He has to go through the same congregational affirmation process, and he will have a voice of equal weight on the elder team. We are a plurality of equals, we elders, and we will remain so. Now, he won't be involved in day-to-day stuff like Sean, John, and me, but he will be involved in big mission, vision, planning stuff beyond worship that happens at our monthly elder meetings. So, John, you can expect him to be easing back into the worship life of the church in June, and you can pray for him in the meantime. He's finishing another book to be published by Crossway in 2015, and I know, because I hear it all the time from you, that many of you were affected, like I was, by his first book, and a lot of you have told me you've read it multiple times. And you're going to have to go on reading it multiple times, because even though John's turning in the manuscript soon, it's not going to be published till next summer. So you've got that to look forward to. But pray for John as he finishes up that book. Now, through all these years of faithful ministry by Jon in this church, standing right by his side, ministering with him, supporting him, loving this church as much as Jon does, has been his wife, Pam. And she is now, in her own words, Jon's happy supporter as he anticipates this next season of ministry with Sovereign Grace Church. And there are 5 Bloom kids. Levi, who was on the worship team this morning, Eliana, Peter, Micah, and Mariah, who have also been faithfully supporting their dad and loving and serving this church. So thank you to the entire Bloom family for all your years of serving this church. Thank you in advance for all the ways you're going to continue to serve this church and to sacrifice as we walk forward together in fulfillment of our mission to delight in, display, and declare the glorious gospel. For the rest of you, you're going to be updated as the process unfolds. First thing that's going to happen is all the members are going to receive an email this afternoon that will include Jon's job description. So if you have any questions at all, any questions today, I'm available. John Hansel will be available. Jon Bloom's available. Any questions after you read the job description, any questions about the process, please ask. We'd love to talk to you about it.